Good day, YouTube. Today's the 17th of April, 2021. And I just got to do a little bit of a different video. I've got a little bit of time to kill. And I didn't want to dig into a project because we got a event to go to here in a little bit. So I'm going to give you a little tour, for those of you that haven't seen, of my shop. My shop sits in town in Oregon. As the crow flies, 5 or 6 blocks from my house, about a half a mile. You can walk it in, 12 minutes or something like that. So it's nice and close, but yet it's not attached. So I'm also tucked in a cul-de-sac. And if you're not in all the way in the cul-de-sac, you don't know this is here. It's completely surrounded on all the other sides. I've got like 0.35 acres, so just over a third of an acre in town for all my stuff. The barn started life in 1947 as Cooley's Dairy, and they own other properties here in town as well, but this was all cow pasture. So as you can see, my grass grows wonderfully. The soil out here is fantastic. I did had a lot of ground pushed and drained, and a lot of big rock brought in and little rock on top, because things were pretty squishy out here for most of the life of the building. I'll take you just for a little walk around, and we're just gonna do some updates on things that are sitting around. So right here's my company truck. Yes, I have returned to work 2 weeks ago. I worked 40 hours a week for 2 weeks in a row. And I was off for about a year. The COVID thing just kind of led an opportunity, and I wanted to kind of see what it was like to not work for a while. So kind of was semi-retired. You've seen a lot more YouTube activity, and I got a lot more projects done, and I worked on the barn a bunch, and I just had a blast, and I almost made it permanent, but project came up, and I signed on for another couple years. They never let me go. I was just sitting on furlough waiting for, something with my name on it. The shop truck build's been a blast. We've been driving this thing all day. It's about 1 o'clock, and we left about 9:30, about 9 o'clock actually. Went yard sailing and stuff, a couple, 3 towns. Truck's running great, it really is. I need to get the carburetor off the intake manifold, put a spacer in. That has arrived. I got a fuel pressure regulator, gauge, a shorter air filter, etc., etc. That's a project coming up for the F100. But it is running great, and I'm really enjoying it. And then we're going to do a lot of fine-tuning, dial this thing in. That little tractor project, I was going to pull the deck and redo the deck. Change the deck belt, that's all it lacks, but and a seat. I think I'm just going to sell it as is and put it down the road. I think it's a pretty good little machine. It's time for a new owner. We had a tree go down in our front yard, and that's it. So time to stack up that wood. I brought it out here to the shop. I can burn it in my wood burning cook stove. So in 2019 I re-sided this south side of the barn. And you got it all repainted and stuff. It's real good. We have all new commercial doors and gutters and things. And then in 2020, while I was off, we did the west side. It's the only other side that needs done. So there's actually video on this side, I think, anyway. So it was fun to do. I drilled and screwed all of that hardy plank to the studs through the existing siding. So it's double-sided, and it's all screwed, so that building is super solid. Let's, I put my tracker in the ditch so I could have a full-width driveway cruising around. So been driving the shop truck. Here's some junk I need to haul off. That's a good mower deck for the 140 John Deere. A set of tires for one of the golf carts that I don't need. Pop into the solar shed real quick just to see. There's a couple projects in here. Turn my solar lights on, my 12 volters. The chipper shredder did real good. A recent purchase. I have a few parts to complete this GG7000. It's a Honda clone engine. What do I have? Like ignition switch. I have a recoil, which I have rebuilt, sitting right there on the bench. the air cleaner complete. Can't remember. Oh, the fuel petcock valve stuff. This is running and generating power and all that stuff. It's doing great. Just need to put those few last bit of parts on, so that'll complete that. I was going to keep it as a loaner, but I think I am just going to sell it. Stuff just takes up too much room. Here's a little 3500, but 240 volt. It needs a carburetor. The carburetor's here. It's actually been here for a while. Need to get it done. And that's all this one needs. It's barely had any use. What else is going on in the shop? I did a video because I'd picked up these three cast iron engines. Very vintage, very cool, very big, very heavy. So a Kohler, a Wisconsin, and a Briggs. So we'll do a startup video on those, but probably no time soon unless something comes up and somebody needs one. One of my favorite mowers I've ever owned, and I have owned a bunch. 14 horse Kohler. Thing is awesome. There's a couple videos of my 6 horse Evinrude. That engine is going to go for sale as soon as I get around to it. I've got a brand new propeller here somewhere for it. That one I just felt was loose, and I don't think it's correct. I think it's off of Evinrude. I think the guy, or off of Johnson, the guy told me. I've got a little gas tank that I had picked up for it, so everybody's looking for a little Evinrude. It doesn't need to sit around here anymore. That commercial John Deere hedge trimmer runs super good, and it needs to find a new home. Let's see what else we can. We're going to wander around outside, and we're going to go inside. Try to make a 30-minute video or something. Walking around the west side of the shop. My car trailer, my flatbed car trailer is at home. We're getting a driveway and walkway and porch and carport all chipped out and have all new concrete put in. I thought they were going to start on it this week. They have saw cut the curbs, and we have everything out here, even my lawnmower, making room. So a bunch of my cars are here. I've maiden voyaged on my Lance camper. A couple videos on that out there. My Super Duty Power Stroke's getting dirty dusty. It's going to be 81 degrees today. What else we got out here? This my other speaker tower project kind of stalled out as other projects came in that were more exciting and more fun to work on in the winter time. So I wished it was done, but it's not. So gonna have to. Well, I don't think we're gonna DJ much this year anyway. So I think it's a next winter project. I just need to move it out of here, make some room. So it's a couple vehicles. You've seen this vehicle before, but anyway, my I think it's a 2015 Ford Transit Connect long wheelbase wagon. So it's a 7-passenger, heat and air, all 3 rows, all etc. etc. One of the nicest cars ever built. It's also a 2015 Chrysler 300. It's the best gas mileage vehicle I've ever had. It's 300 horsepower. It's cool. It's just really cool. We're going on a little trip here in a week or so. It's getting dirty and birds are pooping on it, but we're going to have to drag it out of here and get her cleaned up, get ready for a trip. Still lots and lots to do with the bus. There's a lot of parts here that are waiting for it. My brother-in-law gave me a hand, tried to put this cargo door back on, the rubber hinge, and we just couldn't get it. We struggled for an hour and on a brand new rubber hinge, and I finally had to cut the hinge apart to get the door back off of there because we couldn't get it slid on any farther than that. Tried everything. I don't know what to do. The other one's going to need to be replaced too. I bought enough rubber hinge to do them all. I might be short now, but dang it, I don't know what to do. Anyway, this golf cart project probably have 2 or 3 videos on this one. Can't remember. Anyway, it's got all new batteries, all new cables, all new tires, all new wheels, all new lug nuts, all new center caps. Even put a new strap back here to strap your golf bags in. It's pretty cool because it has these hard sides on it. Seat's great. Put a heater in it. Put some lights on it. It could be fixed up, or it could just be run like it is. Fixed it up for a purpose. That purpose has changed, so this is going to be for sale. Probably $1,650 bucks, something like that. down the road. So it's a 80, I'm gonna guess 84 club car, 36 volt. Again, brand new batteries and all that stuff. You've seen it on YouTube. It's good to go. Let's go inside. Yep, there's my sign. My father-in-law made that for me years ago when I first got this building. And so far I've left the finish on it that he put on it. So it's got kind of a rustic look to it. This is what we call the gathering room, and it is a mess. This is what happens when you work around in a shop for 10, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and things just kind of go. We had it all cleaned up around Christmas time because we had a bunch of people over here for the holidays, but I don't have water sewer service here. I bring water from home in a 50-gallon barrel, put it in a 250-gallon tote, have a pump, which pumps to a sink and a couple of hose bibs. So that's what we have. I have an electric water heater that heats water. We have a composting toilet here. We have a propane burning. I have a propane burning stove here. I have a wood burning stove here. This is where I burn firewood. Adds a little bit of heat to the place and all that stuff. You know, pantry and TV, and I'm into cast iron and Dutch ovens. There's some of the Dutch ovens, a couple shelves. Some of the big ones here, valuable ones. All that stuff. My antique Vilca refrigerator. I'm sure it's a mess in here, but it's still pretty cool. So it has the original blue cover. Where's the light bulb? Can't hardly see it in there. Anyway, it still has the original blue cover over the light bulb. It still keeps cold better than probably a new one. That's a 1950s fridge, and it's awesome. This is quite a tour, isn't it? We had a bunch of books out the other day. Oh, if my dad's watching, which he is, I found this. I'll give that to you. I'll bring it over Friday. This coming Friday on the 30th of April. It's my birthday. So my dad and his wife are taking us out to dinner, Georgie's on the Oregon coast. It's really one of our favorite places to go. There's some of my Scooby collection. Some of my transistor radio collection. Some of my chrome flashlight collection. This is my player piano. It's actually been rebuilt inside. Looking forward to refinishing it one day. Do I play the piano? No. Do I play the guitar? No, but I have one. Do I play the bass guitar? No, but I have one. These are two new fantastic vent fans for the camper. This is actually an old one right here for that came out of the step van. It was always planned obsolescence when I got an air conditioner. There's some Caveman Camper decals that I had reproduced. I have the Caveman Dude. Caveman Dude. He's in here. I have like 6 of these. I gave 4 or something to the guy that bought my Caveman, but I got the Caveman Dude and the Caveman writing. Spent money having these reproduced if anybody needs them. Picked up a few graphic equalizers from a church the other day. This one's a real electronic. It's a Behringer. It's like a smart EQ. You can actually put a microphone in it, take it out around in your space you're doing sound, and it'll adjust for you. It's pretty cool, but it's more than I want for my rigs. The DBX is going in the step van because I have another one very similar, if not exactly like that. And then the PV is going in the Scooby van to replace a cheap Chinese one I put in there some years ago. Yeah, I also collect records, 45s, and albums. This is a lot of the 45s, approximately 3,500 records, and they're all cataloged somewhere. Well, the ones in the white boxes are cataloged. These are not. These were my original collection, then I purchased this collection. They're 2 boxes deep and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes high. Anyway, there's a slab of wood. What is it? Glen. Anyway, walnut. And I'm going to fix that up for the bus. My Atari pole position. 1982 Atari pole position. We had it fired up around Christmas time, and my nephew was, okay, he was kicking my butt on it. My Wurlitzer, it's 1969 Wurlitzer Americana 3 jukebox. I have a video on this because I redid all of the labels, put all the different records and stuff in it. It's all good to go. It's not turned on right now, and it unfortunately becomes a clutter. This is my new air filter. There's the spacer for the carburetor on the my shop truck. Moving into this, what was the milking room of the barn. That's the 2002 Honda Reflex scooter project. I haven't actually licensed and insured to ride it. However, it's never been on the road. With me, I need to tighten up the axle nut, put the plate on it, and take it for a ride. I even thought about doing that today, but we got busy doing fun things, and it didn't happen. But it is ready to go. I don't know if I'll keep it or sell it. It's got 12,600 miles on it. Probably will sell it. Of course, my Honda CT70 project. I got it all done here, a couple years ago, and then the dang thing wouldn't run. I did diagnose it here a few weeks ago. The brand new ignition switch I paid so much money for doesn't work. So now I kind of bypassed the switch and fired right up. Dang it. Other projects that are sitting there, the 82 Honda Urban Express. I just need to button it up and I'll probably sell that. The 61, 62, whatever it is, Cushman Trailster. That I need to get it running. I kind of lost interest in it. Kind of frustrated me. Moved on. The 59 Riverside Silver Pigeon, built by Mitsubishi. It's a 125cc 4-stroke overhead valve engine. I'll find a way to work on that one of these days, but it's a winter project and it didn't get work done this winter either, but it's taking up valuable space on the lift, so we'll see. Boy, the bench is a mess these days, isn't it? Always. It just takes a few minutes to get her cleaned up. This is, again, the milking room. This is where they brought the cows in. They brought them actually through that door. And they have, these has really tall concrete walls, concrete like footings, like 3 feet high, on all the way around. I guess for, wash down and so forth. It had a trench through here that I filled in with concrete. The drain's still there. I put some wood over it. See there? There's a drain right there. Don't know where it goes, but it leaves here, so that's good. They had opened up this wall and made a slider door in there, so this wall's big enough. I actually had cars in here before I had the lift in here and other bikes, so that's that. I love my US General toolboxes. You can kind of see generation after generation. That's the biggest one they make. That's a smaller one over there, but you can get a top box for that one to fit it. You cannot get a top box for this one. That's okay, it's a bench. I put a hang-on box on this end of it. I love it, I love it. I got this one recently. This became my bolt bin. I think I did a video on that. It's awesome. If you never have, you can never have too organized of a bolt bin. This one is obviously on wheels. I can get it out of the way if I need it, but it's always here. I love having fasteners. So there we go. This thing's kind of full of miscellaneous. Just an old Craftsman box, but I keep miscellaneous hardware. These assortments of things, everything from O-rings to pins and metric bolts and garbage. It becomes a catch-all in the bottom drawers of just miscellaneous stuff. Now we're going into the main part of the barn. This building overall is 50 feet by 50 feet, so it's 2,500 square feet on the ground. And then it has upstairs that goes, well, you can see the trusses here. So it goes from there to there. I can't remember the exact measurement. It's not a full height ceiling up there except in the middle. But I have my studio up there. I'm actually working from home up there in my studio. So we're going to show you real quick the Scooby van. This is I have a mobile DJ business, and this is my main DJ vehicle. It's always, coming back from somewhere, getting ready to go somewhere. The light's on, so you can see vintage PV mixer. All my music is MP3s on the computer. I have built in 3 EV7100 amplifiers. They're just under 300 watts a piece. That is hard to see, but the cheap Chinese equalizer I need to replace with the PV. I carry 3 pairs, typically, of speakers in here. I'm sorry, it's really, really dark. I have some plastic ones in there because I do some outside stuff in bad weather. That's what those are for. I'll take those out for the season. But again, COVID, It doesn't look like I'm going to be very busy DJing this year anyway, so what the heck. You've seen a little bit of this golf cart. We did get the seats on it. It does, run and drive's good and all that jazz. It's going to be, I call it an intersection vehicle. I'll be able to tow it out to a spot where I'm DJing, put a receiver in it, an amplifier, generator, and 4 speakers on a really tough roof structure, and park it in an intersection. It'll sit there and do music all day, and then I can drive it back. The step van real quick. Oh yeah, I got a couple systems over here. Just getting rid of old stuff. So I've got some ads on the internet and so forth, waiting for some people to come look and hopefully buy. So this is a system I put together. Sounds really good. Just got a couple of Fisher speakers with 15-inch woofers, a 400-watt PB amp, and an EQ. Throw an MP3 player on this thing, and you've got something that's pretty cool. I got this system for sale for $250, which is a bargain. It sounds super good. Here's a system I put together, just stuff that I don't use anymore. It's got 2 oddball pairs of 15-inch DJ speakers and a Crate PX800 DP mixer. I have that system for sale for $450. Again, outstanding. You could DJ with that easily. I just started DJing with way less than that. Let's go in the step van a second. It does have lights. It has LED lights on a dimmer. It also has exhaust fans on a thermostat and has a Honda RV generator. There's how you start it, and it's built in back there. I use the same EB7100 amplifiers in here. There's nothing I need from the other van to this van except the computer, and I hope to change that when I find someone that can help me out and mirror some computers that I have. So this thing also has a vintage PB mixer in it. It's got a whole cabinet full of other gear, powered mixers and the like. And I think there's 4 pairs of speakers, maybe 5, 4, 5, yeah. And quite a few of my generators are living in here. I have quite a few, 7 in total, I think. EU series generator. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. The other 2, well, there's another one in the Scooby van, and not sure what else. So anyway, this got used once last year for real, and it worked out really, really good. This is a think about it, Glenn. Think about it. 1967 Boyertown step van. It's on a Ford chassis. It's got a 300 cubic inch Ford 6-cylinder. It has a 4-speed manual transmission. It is powered by propane. It has been converted to propane sometime, probably in the 70s during the fuel crunch. So it's clean burning. We've had all that stuff redone. The Scooby van, by the way, that is a 1965 first year for the 240 engine, which they also made the 300. So this has the 240. This actually came with a 240, but I believe it's a 300 now. So this is a 240 inline 6 with a 3-speed column shift, 65 Ford Super Van. The Super Van is I don't know, like a 1.5 feet longer than the standard van. It also has 5-lug wheels, Ford 9-inch rear end, stronger, more heavy duty, more payload, all that jazz. I traded a motorcycle I had absolutely no money in for this van straight across. Shortly thereafter, I had to put a cam timing gear in it. This is a gear to gear. There's no chain. It had a fiber gear, wore out. It was a pain in the butt to change it, but we got the timing gear swapped out. I bought an NOS carburetor for it and put a Pertronix electronic ignition in it. Shut the hood. I think I've opened it twice to check the oil in 5 years. Other than that, it just runs. It has 47,000 original miles on it. I would give this thing a fluids change, fill it with fuel, and drive it across the United States. Absolutely would do it, except for the tires. Let's put tires on it. The front 2 tires I bought like 6 years ago at a yard sale for $2, and I ain't kidding you. And the back ones or whatever, they were just all mud and snows with studs in them. I pulled the studs. Been running them for years. It doesn't go very far, and it always stays inside. But anyway, there we go. What do we got? This is the 64 Cushman Scotsman golf cart. Runs and drives. Seats done. Need to finish up the cosmetic restoration on it. We got the structure built for the roof. Need to build a umbrella top for it. That's another bullet on the engine stand. It's a 74 Ford 302. It was supposedly a rebuilt engine, probably wasn't done very well. I think there's too much gap in the cylinders, and it had some sort of oiling issue and caused it to spin a bearing or maybe score a cylinder. What was it? I did a video on it so you and I both would remember what's going on. What's back here in the row? This is where I keep all my tools. I try to keep them on wheels. I try to keep them all the way pushed back there. It doesn't always work that way. This is my 69 John Deere 140H3. It does run and operate, but I can't get the levers to move for the hydraulics, so it's still another whatever. There's my 30-gallon fuel tank. Keep that full of non-ethanol fuel all the time. I am starting to use it up. It was, kept it full over the winter. Gas cans are always full of regular gas over the winter. That's just the, the prepper in me. I got a half a dozen of these old portable heaters kicking around. There's my mini mill and lathe, and back there is a sheet metal tool. It's a press brake and a slip roll and a shear. Then I have a bunch of tools mounted to that cart on wheels, battery chargers and welders, and there's the plasma cutter and so forth. There's a video on this guy. Sorry, I'm bouncing around. It's a little bit hard to get to. Had some questions here recently too. It's a Miracam heated solvent tank. I'm using a ZEP, a diluted version of ZEP in here. Let me flip it on here for you. I don't want it to splash on. I got a nice shirt on. Asking me if it still works good. Yes. I highly recommend ZEP as a degreaser. Obviously, I don't leave the heater on. It runs up to like 140, 150 degrees, which really helps the degreaser degrease. There we go. How's our time doing? We're going to step it up here a little bit. Another one of my U.S. General boxes with the top box on it. I have a pretty significant amount of tools out here in the shop, just so I don't have to run back and forth. And some of my engine rebuild stuff is in here, which I don't have in the other box as well. This is my 1936 Ford. It's a 1.5 ton or 2 ton truck. I've extended the frame, built a flatbed on it, put like a 30 or 40 gallon fuel tank in it back here. It's going to become a house truck. I've built a house truck or gypsy wagon, if you will. It's going to have a little porch right here. It's going to have a trolley top. I have all the trusses and stuff, the wood cut but not built. For inside is going to get that little Magic Chef 20-inch wide propane stove, and that is a panel ray heater that's also going to live in there. We're also going to either put a wood-burning stove or like fireplace in it. This is my 56 Ford F100, so remember I have a 36, a 56, and a 66. Used to have a 76. I sold that a month or two ago. So this has a hot-rodded 223 with a 3-speed overdrive. We had that overdrive built. It has a monoleaf front suspension with a dropped axle. Pretty stock original. Everything's been acid dipped and repainted, including the fuel tank, chrome filler neck, a lot of chrome on the inside. I think my chrome bill on this was like 1,800 bucks. Anyway, I need to finish it. When I retire, we'll finish it. Okay, that's all there is on that. Back to the 36 again. It's very, very original. I tend to keep it very original. Will I paint it? Not sure. Maybe not. I put a 8BA flathead in it, so it's a little bit newer. I still have to figure out the fan situation. I ran out of room. I did not have room for a fan. Remember, they used to run off the generator, and I have updated this to a 1-wire GM alternator. That's right. I want to run upstairs real quick, finish the tour. This is a view from halfway up the stairs. Yeehaw. Okay, now you can see where a hoarder keeps all his stuff. We have enough chairs and tables to seat 45, 50 people. We have to drag them all the way downstairs, but that's how we roll. This is some more collections of stuff. So that's rolls for the player piano. That's my collection of 8-track tapes. There's another collection of 8-track tapes. Miscellaneous Christmas stuff. This is the seats for the 56 F100. They're all upholstered, ready to go. New foam, new everything. That's a brand new bed and stuff. Tailgate, NOS tailgate, and the front panel for the 56 F100. This is a 3-speed floor shifter for the shop truck. Not sure if I'm going to use it or not. This is a C-notch drop rear axle kit for the shop truck. Not sure if I'll use it or not. Miscellaneous stuff. This is a water tank that fits on the floor of my Super Duty. So if we're going to like go with the camper for an extended period of time, I can fill that full of water and use it to fill the tank in the camper. This old desk we drug up here was crazy when I used to rebuild the Coleman lanterns. I don't do that anymore, but it's still full of stuff like globes and stuff for different kinds of lanterns. Some miscellaneous audio stuff. Got a digital turntable so I can convert records to MP3s. More like a Kenwood turntable. Some TVs, some record albums, There's some more record albums, and there's a tote of record albums, and there's a couple more record albums. This is miscellaneous work stuff. This is my commercial sewing machine. It's a walking foot machine. I have converted it to a DC servo motor. Works pretty good when I get it threaded right, and that's a pain. I bought this, haven't used it. It's nice, vintage. Sometimes you don't need this big a machine if you're just doing curtains or simple upholstery, so I did that. And this is another mess. Hoarder stuff. Okay, I collect 8-track tape players, and that's weird. I collect CB radios, and that's weird. I just see it, and I just get it, and I just stack it up. One of these days, I'll get this organized. I also like radios that don't need power to operate, so these crank generator types, I have a few of those. This is a tote down there. They're real dirty with a tarp under them. One of them's full of 50% vinegar and water. And the other one's has real strong lye concentrations for cleaning and then derusting cast iron cookware. I've done hundreds of pieces. I just don't do it anymore. So some other audio equipment that doesn't work stacked up there, hoping to get maybe a couple pieces fixed or something. That's a 24 channel Snake, if you're not familiar with them. You basically plug this into your mixer here, and then 100 feet of cable, and this sits up on the stage. Everybody plugs their stuff into it. You can plug an amp into those four. Those are called sends. From the mixer, you can plug an amp into there and then plug your monitor speakers into the amp. And I can vary the volume and stuff from the mixer. A couple of helmets I picked up at yard sales that fit me. And this is a bunch of material. I've done a lot of upholstery. We still do a little bit here and there, but when we were part-time antique dealers, I did a lot of upholstery for, a lot of antique vintage chairs and stuff. Still need to get rid of some of this stuff, old lamps and stuff's taking up way too much space. This is my studio. It's always kind of a mess, but I do kind of live up here anymore. So again, I have a bass guitar and a guitar, but you wouldn't know it because I don't really know how to play them. I do fiddle with them once in a while. I got a 410 PV bass cabinet, and I have this really cool, it's called the Empire by Electro Voice, and they are connected to this powered mixer here separately, so I can just sit in here and kind of rock out. PV Classic 30, if you know anything about tube amplifiers, you know that is a treasure. It's in. Sorry, I had to delete some memory real quick for whatever reason. Again, that PV is very collectible. It is in the more rare black tuxedo finish. It came with the original dust cover and the 2-button pedal. So picked that up at a yard sale on the side of the road in Jacksonville, Oregon last year. I did a quick video on that little PV that I picked up the other day for 20 bucks. It is the Rage 158. I think it's a pretty cool little practice amp, 15 watt. And that's a keyboard amp, 15 watt. They're in the same exact enclosure, and then some acoustic or something back there. Got a little powered mixer from Sun. Obviously that's Fender, so that's kind of cool. And then there's another one that's just a Euro Power or whatever, just kind of sitting in here. So anyway, little record player. This is my work stuff. This may, or if I can get a focus, this may or may not be an FM transmitter, or may or may not be a private pirate radio station. Ooh, it's 1:51. I need to go pretty soon. And that computer up there in the corner may or may not run the private pirate radio station. It's not on right now. And I have one of those 25 disc CD players on top of whatever music happens to be on that computer. This is kind of my edit computer for music and stuff for my mobile DJ. It also just gives me a place to just kind of rock out. So I have a pretty decent system in here with that Sony amp. I'm sorry for the light, but and that TIAC EQ. I have a 12-inch subwoofer, and then off in that corner and over here in this corner, a couple 12-inch speakers, and then way buried back in the corners is a couple of probably 6s. I think they're Yamaha 6s, so I have a pretty decent audio system up here. So if I need to unwind and just kind of blast out, place pretty well insulated. I put the rock wool insulation in my studio. It's certainly not very, very pretty. I did put a window in here. It is open because it's 80 degrees outside today. So I have a place I just come decompress. So guys, that's going to be the tour of my shop. Sorry it took a little longer than I anticipated, but just thought I'd give you a little tour of my man cave, if you will. We're going downstairs to my very unique stairway that I built some years ago. Yeah, I'm a prepper, so this is where I store my propane. I have a few bottles just kind of sitting around. Time for me to gather up all that winter stuff and put it away. Just get a bird's eye view of everything. I have a lot of space, but I have a lot of stuff, so that's kind of the way that works. So that's it. A little glimpse at my world. It's been a wonderful year off. I've really, really enjoyed being able to work on projects, but it's been crazy thinking that in a couple years I'll be able to do this forever and ever. Oh, I want to see my last race car. I used to race cars. This was in 1987. My dad's wife made this picture thing for me. That's what it looked like. I bought the car and I ran it like 5 races in '86 season, and then getting ready for '87 season, you know, over the winter and spring and stuff. These are the pictures of me, and that's a buddy of mine, Toby, was helping me for a lot put this car together. It's over at my dad's garage. There it is, all primered, ready to paint, and there it is painted in the driveway, and then there it is on the trailer, the grill. I'm an electrician. The grill's made out of 1/2-inch EMT conduit. The headlights we shortened the front end. It's a 66 Charger. I cut up some water heaters that my buddy Toby scared up for me. It was the only sheet metal we could get a hold of. I had one chrome wheel. My buddy Toby bought a second one, so the wheels on the grandstand sides were chrome. I probably spent the rest of my money on chrome letters. And you know, we were low buck racers, but yeah, for the most part, ran at 383. It had a 4-speed in it or 3-speed in it. Depends on what rear end gears we needed and so forth. So yeah, so let's kill some lights here because I need to jam. Guys, appreciate you hanging around and taking the tour. You have a rough idea of what I have to work with around here, and yeah, it's always a work in progress, isn't it? Isn't your shop the same? Spray guns and paint supplies, and you know, I just find places to rattle things everywhere. There's the fenders for my 56 F100s. They're 3 inches wider than stock. We could do this all day, or we could end it now. Guys, thanks for watching. Comment and subscribe, and hit the thumbs up on the way out the door. We're going to catch you on the next video.